Okay, before we go on to multiplying matrices, we need to review a few things about dimensions. So if I had a matrix and I had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this matrix is row times column, where row and column, so row is across, column is down. So this matrix dimensions, we have 2 rows and we have 3 columns. So it's a 2 by 3 matrix. Now this matrix, 4, 5, 2, 1, 5, 3. So this matrix has 3 rows and it has 2 columns. So it's a 3 by 2 matrix. So we're going to go on to multiplying, but we can only multiply when the dimensions of these are the same. So the inner must be the same. Now when we multiply out our matrix, these outer numbers multiplied together, these are going to tell us the actual size of our matrix. So let's have a look. How can we multiply these two matrices together? So if I take, let's change our colors. So I need to take my first number and my first number in this column. So this is going to be, I'm going to rewrite it. So 2 multiplied by 4. So 2 multiplied by 4, this is going to be 8. So we also have 3 multiplied by 2, which is 6. So I need to add 6. And then I have 4 multiplied by 5, which is 20. So I need to add 20. You can see I'm running out of space already. So 8 plus 6 and 20, that's going to be 34. So that is going to be my first number. And then we look at our second column. So let's change our color. So this time it's going to be so 2, oops, different color. Let's take that off a minute. So 2 multiplied by 5. So we're going to have 2 times 5 is 10. We're going to have 3 multiplied by 1 is 3. So we're going to add 3. And then we're going to have 4 multiplied by 3, which is 12. So we need to add 12. So 10 and 3 is 13. And 12, so that's 25. So next one. So now let's take these off. So now we're going to look at this bottom number. So we've got 5, and first of all, 5 times 4. So this is 20. And now we have to do 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12, and I'm going to add this. And then I have to do 7 times 5. So 7 times 5 is 35. So if I add those together, so 20, 35 is 55, 67. So this is my value here, 67. So let's take these off again. And I'm going to change the colour. So let's go for green. So now 5 times 5. So 5 times 5 is 25. And 6 times 1 is 6. And 7 times 3 is 21. Now we need to add these together, so that's 46, 52. So we've got 34, 25, 67 and 52. Okay, so I have a calculator here. So we're going to just have a look at what we can do. So we've got menu and then option 4. This is to define a matrix. So I'm going to define a matrix, matrix 1. So number of rows. So we've got a 2 by 3. So number of rows 2, number of columns 3. So now I'm just going to put in my numbers. 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7. So there's my one matrix. Now I'm going to go to my option and I'm going to define number 1. I'm going to define the second matrix 2. So number of rows 3, number of columns 2. So I'm going to put in my numbers 4, 5, 2, 1, 5, and 3. Okay, and now option number 3, matrix calculation. So I'm going to multiply matrix 3, well A, and this is multiplied by option number 4, matrix B. And I'm going to press equals, and it's going to give me my numbers. You can see it's a 2 by 2 matrix, which is 2 by 2. So this is the numbers on the outside, and we'll check our numbers. So let's move this if we can. So we have 34, 25, 67, and 52. Okay, so here's a question. So we've got A and we've got B. So the first thing we need to do is say what the dimensions are. So 2 rows and 2 columns. And then B. B is 2 columns and 2 rows and 3 columns. So we're looking at these numbers here. These are the same, so we will be able to multiply. And then we look at the outside. So we know that our matrix, when we multiply A multiplied by B, we will have a 2 by 3 matrix for our answer. So if we actually go ahead and multiply these, so we're going to have 3 multiplied by minus 2. So 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. And then minus 1 multiplied by 3 is minus 3. And then we go on to our next column. So 3 times 0 is 0. And minus 1 times 5 is minus 5. Next column. So we want 3 times 6. So this is 18. And minus 1 multiplied by 1 is minus 1. Okay, so now for the next So let's go on to, okay, so now on the bottom, so 4 times minus 2. So this is going to be minus 8. And we've got 0 times 3. So this is 0. Then we're going to look at the next term. So let's get rid of that again. And let's try a different color. So 4 times 0 is 0. And 0 times 5 is 0. And then the last. So 4 times 6 is 24. And 0 times 1 is 0. So now we just need to sort these out. So minus 6 minus 3 is minus 9. 0 minus 5 is minus 5. 18 minus 1 is 17. Minus 8 plus 0 is minus 8. 0 plus 0 and 24. Okay, so let's define our matrix. So option menu option 4. So we're going to define, and the first matrix is 2 by 2, so it's a 2 by 2. And we have 3 minus 1 and 4 and 0. And then our second matrix, which will be number 2. And this is a 2 by 3, so it's 2 rows and 3 columns. And this is minus 2, 0, 6, 3, 5, and 1. And then we go to option, and we're going to do a matrix calculation. Option again, and we're going to choose number 3 for matrix A, multiplied by option number 4, matrix B, equals. So let's check. So our first column we have minus 9. Then we have minus 5, 17, minus 8, 0, and 24. All correct.